To my mind, there are 7 fundamental positive purposes, and one of them is beauty. And it is the purpose that I use my entire life to serve. The theater company that I have the pleasure of being artistic director of serves beauty. That is our purpose. Beauty is not the simple aesthetic elements of a painting or a well-crafted costume or a beautiful piece of jewelry. Beauty lies in a lot of places. For example, as a director, the thing that I find most beautiful in life is a smooth transition. You know, if I can make a transition from chaos to peace so peacefully, so smoothly that you barely see it, well, that's beautiful. If I can get the actors to understand that when there's a scene change, you don't race across the stage like you are in a hurry to go somewhere else. You move across the stage beautifully and in a good pace. You want to look always beautiful on stage, and it has to do with what you project, not necessarily what's happening in your face or whether or not you combed your hair today, that kind of thing. There's beauty in a lot of things. I find it beautiful when the audience says, I always feel at home here.
Aunt Vi said the Indians left me on the doorstep. I don't remember what my question was, but I was satisfied with the answer. I used to imagine Geronimo coming down South 11th Avenue from the dead end, beyond which was certainly no man's land, and he stops at 513 and lays this bundle, which is me, on the front stoop of the tenement. He could have chosen any house, a pretty house with a lawn and trees. He could have chosen a family with other kids, so I'd have sisters and brothers. But he chose 513, the only tenement on the block, and he thought, good people here. I figured I was well off. At least I knew who my father was. I didn't worry about, if Geronimo is my father, then who is my mother? I was immediately reconciled to the idea that he was my father and Ruby was my mother, even though they had never met, and it was me knowing both of them that joined them. Yeah, I figured I was well off. I knew my parents. I had a mysterious background, and everyone in my world loved me despite the fact that I was not truly of them. I was rich.
The old men. The men in the house were old like the women. They were brothers, not twins, but shared an identical love for anything wet and 80 proof. Sober, they were quiet. One humble, one proud, both quiet. Drunk, one begged the prophet for remedies and cried the blues, naming his estranged wife. I rocked him and kissed him and told him sweet things. I was good and made him good by loving him. He gave me treasures in exchange for my promise that I'd take care of him in his old age. On his free days, drunk or sober, he'd take me to magic places with people in costumes and fast rides and animals in cages and incredible gardens. Drunk, the other told secrets revealed by hallucination, ate hot peppers by the jar and jelly by the spoon. He called me Big Chief, taught me to play games of chance, and took me to the beer gardens where I drank soft drinks and finally held his hand and led him home. The saints were appalled. A child should not be left in the care of drunks. He might lose her. But just like they always knew where she had hidden the 80 proof, they always knew where I was.
She who mothered me. She took care of me. She was not my mother. She mothered me. She taught me acceptance. She accepted life in a way that was peculiar to her. She told me there were monsters who came in the night and carried off children who would not eat enough. Children who were too puny to fight them off. She gave me olive oil, blessed by the elders, to ensure my bowel movements and general well-being. She let me walk behind her, underneath her long white skirts until I was too tall. She never yelled at me or chastised me. I did as I was told because I wanted to please her. She taught me enthusiasm. She prayed and sang songs of praise. She let me cut the corns from her toes with a razor blade and squeeze the worms from her blackheads. She taught me faith and trust. She warned me, child, don't grow old if you can help it. And though she was old from the time I was born, we were always girls together.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Coming for to carry